Maximizing muscle growth. Are you looking to beef up your physique? Have you ever pondered over the perfect formula of sets, reps, load, frequency, and even training tempo? We're about to explore these aspects and link you to case studies in the description section. But before we jump in, click the subscribe button for more informative videos. Now let's start with the first question. What is the ideal rep range? To quote Stan Efferding in a recent podcast, the specific range of reps per set is at least somewhat irrelevant. Stan states, you can build muscle with low rep ranges, as well the common 8 to 12 rep range, as you can with 15 to 20 plus reps, provided that you continue the set until failure. But what about training volume? What is the ideal number of sets per body part in a single session? We can refer to the same video interview with professional training coach Stan Efferding. Ideally 3 exercises per body part and 2 working sets to or near failure. This is a reference to one of 2 weekly workout sessions per body part. 10 to 12 sets total per week is said to be sufficient stimulus for promoting hypertrophy. Previous case studies have suggested even greater volume for optimal hypertrophy. Specifically, some of these former studies have suggested a 10 to 12 set range to be ideal per workout per body part and 20 plus sets per week. Of course, it is essential that you pay close attention to your progress or lack thereof. Always start with the lower end of volume and gradually work up as needed. If you find that your strength is not improving or even declining from one workout to the next for the same body part, consider dropping your volume or training frequency. But before doing so, ensure that you are getting adequate rest and sleep and your nutritional intake is optimal. So far, we've discussed repetition range and number of sets in regards to volume per session and weekly total. But what is the ideal rest periods that one should take in between sets? It has been a traditional practice for decades in bodybuilding training sessions to keep rest periods down to approximately 45 seconds or so between sets. While at least one study confirms this, another study suggests a rest period of at least 2 minutes between sets and longer with heavier compound movements. Once again, we can refer to the same video where Stan Efferding recommends approximately 3 minutes of rest between sets for optimal training, not just for strength, but also for maximum hypertrophy. Okay, let's review and summarize the things you can do to optimize your training sessions. Regardless of rep range, train to failure, especially with lighter loads. Start with fairly low volume, such as 6 sets per body part per session. You may add up to 20% volume if your hypertrophy gains diminish, provided you are getting enough sleep as well as a sufficient intake of protein and carbohydrates. If your strength level begins to drop, consider decreasing volume or training frequency. Also, make sure to give yourself sufficient rest in between sets for optimal training. Not doing so can increase cortisol levels, which is catabolic, and that is something we want to avoid when hypertrophy is our goal. Oh, one last thing. What about training tempo? One of the case studies which I referenced has found that repetition tempos between 2 and as long as 8 seconds produced positive hypertrophy results, with the ideal eccentric tempo being 4 seconds, at least in some exercises. So there you go. If you're just getting started at the gym, or if you have been at it a while and just wanted to know ideal set, rep, tempo, volume, and frequency, I hope that this helps. Comment below if you wish to share what personally works wonders for you.